All right, blue-green merfolk. So this is, I think it was Ralph Levy. Don't quote me on that. Someone went 8-2 with this at the last Mythic Championship. I like the look of this deck a lot. I'm a huge fan of Incubation Incongruity in this format. I think this card's super powerful. This deck gets to play a nice aggressive curve, as well as a bunch of counter spells out of the sideboard, which is good in a lot of spots, and the full suite of Kraul Harpooners to beat up mono blues. So let's just dive into some matches here. I think we were Diamond 4 when we signed off last week. Thanks, Shalash. It's important to thank the people that pay my bills. I wouldn't be here without them. Do I have a sideboard guide for my climb deck? There is a sideboard guide linked for an iteration of the climb deck on my website. It's now 1 or 2 cards different than the list that's posted on the website, but I'm not updating the sideboard guide every time I change a card. It's one of the reasons why I don't love writing sideboard guides, because people are always like, oh, you changed 2 cards, can I get a new guide? And it's like, no, that just takes too much time. Hey, RN Zombie, thank you for the very generous tier 2 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Oh, this can't put a counter on itself. Yikes, that card's a lot worse than I thought it was. All right, I shouldn't have played this on 1. That was a mistake. Double Deeproot Waters. I definitely should have just Incubationed on 1. I just assumed this card could be a 2-2. I guess it would be really busted if it was just a 1-mana 2-2, huh? Yeah, I use MTG Bot because it looks up magic cards. Other than that, what's the compelling reason to use Nightbot over MTG Bot? What functional reason is there to use something else? Well, I appreciate that, Zombie. Deeproot smelling like poop soup here. Do you have decks for Try Hard Tuesday yet? No. I'm lucky if I have enough time to be ready 1 day in advance, Beetle, 2 days in advance. No. Figure that out this evening. Maybe I'm supposed to just play out 2 Merfolk so I can pressure the Orazca this turn, because I guess she can kill my Deeproot Waters now. Reveal one of the ones they already know about. That's pretty good. Deeproot is very good with Kumena. Yeah, I'm planning to start tomorrow morning with another Vanafear Chord League. Yep. Interesting. Seems a little greedy. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I don't think I can beat a finality here. Why does that play indicate finality? Because they're not respecting the Deeproot Waters? I don't know, I don't think I have the tools to beat a finality game 1. I guess Deeproot Waters is like kind of a way to play through a finality here. Just because it lets me go super wide.
I despise Tyrant. You won't be needing that.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. That's a good read. They'd block to save their Planeswalker if they had the finality. That's a good draw. Huh. So, I think... Do I just diddle this again and ship into their Planeswalker? I think so. So if I attack everything at them, they block 9, take 10. So I think I definitely need to kill this. But I think I send all of those at her and then send these upstairs. Because these, even if they block 3 of them, this still dies. See, I think I do this.
Back to the ship.
Well, if they don't have a finality, they're pretty dead here. I guess if they have a removal spell for Merfolk Mistbinder, they're still kind of okay. Well, that was a good draw. We know they drew that because if they had that in their hand already, they would have chump blocked last turn.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
So hoping to draw Kumena here is the best draw on the deck. No, this isn't Hearthstone, Sakura. You can't tell when opponent drew something based on the order it's played out of their hand.
Meet my newest friend.
Yep. So still hoping to hit Kumena. A little too far behind at that point. Post board. Disdainful Stroke sounds great here. This is probably a Tempest Caller matchup, huh? It's like a sleep that we can find off of Incubation. This card seems real interesting. We feel about cutting Jade Bearer. Actually, I'm going to cut Kumena Speaker, because this one gets blocked by a lot of stuff, and Jade Bearer can help make my other Merfolk larger to get them out of finality range eventually, which is nice. That scene sounds great. Well, this is about to be... Did they board in Negate against me? Holy crap, they boarded in Negate. There's like 6 non-creatures, what, 8 non-creatures in my deck? Yikes. Man, if that's a card on my radar, I guess I messed up. I feel like that can that possibly be a card on my radar? They have so many ways to kill Deeproot Waters. Resolves? Yeah, you got my Merfolk Mistbinders. Yep, you got them. Oh, I stacked these in the wrong order. I stacked these in the wrong order because ideally I should draw the extra card here before I loot. We did find our best card, which is nice here. I did this on my turn, so that way if I hit a Disdainful Stroke, I knew I wanted to play the land out. Or if I hit a 1 or 2 mana Merfolk, I could have played it out this turn. Even if they have Finality, like my Kumena and my Biomancer are outside of Finality range. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is actually lethal if they don't have a removal spell here. My hand's pretty good, so I'm just going to spread these counters out a little bit. Alright, well that was really impressive. That was really impressive. Like, I know they boarded in cards that didn't make a lot of sense, but just like what our linear draw did there felt very powerful. I don't think I want to change anything. I think I'm happy. Do I get a horse now? You do get a horse, and your horse is amazing, Ralk. Thank you for the 24 months, and good to meet you, too. Glad you had a safe trip home. Do I want the third Trickster? Like, what's third Trickster better than? I guess Jade Bearer is not very good. Yeah, Beacon is pretty close. I guess we didn't get snow till Sunday morning. We had snow most of yesterday. Off and on. No, I have self-respect, so I played with Black Bordered Elves, Danon. The scene's really sweet. I think Deeproot Waters is our play on 3. I don't know. I guess Kumena lets us draw a card right away. I do like drawing cards. And you know what? I'm actually definitely going to play Kumena here because my opponent has Negate in their deck for some reason. So I don't want to give them a target for Negate this turn. So hoping to draw a land, so that way next turn I can go Deeproot Waters into Jade Bearer and then have 5 Merfolk to start pumping up the squad with Kumena. Cube April, thank you for the 4 months. Oh my, I was reading a message and clicked through it. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, we hit the land. I'm gonna bin the extra one of these. Mistakes were made. So I should be plus a card at the moment. But mistakes happen. As an educator, I respect your authoritative managing of your stream. You also seem like a responsible parent. Well, thanks for the 2 months, Cat Party. Hope you're having a good one. All right, so let's lead on Silvergill Adept here and see where we end up at. Yeah, the cry there isn't even that good against us. I agree. I think I'm just gonna pass here. Because I can Merfolk Trickster, diddle something at end of turn, put counters on things, and, like, untap Merfolk Mistbinder hit for a bunch. I might also just draw 2 cards. The kids were all over the place at the event. They like going out. Yeah, so hey diddle diddle. Let's do this in response. So do I draw 2 or do I just put counters down? I might just put counters down, huh? I think I just put counters down. Can I put double counters on this turn? I can, right? Yeah, we can. All right, huh. Well. So I'm doing the first set of counters now because I want to be able to loot into a 1-drop Merfolk and cast it. Nah, I'm not playing around Ritualist here. That card's nowhere near common enough to play around. So it's worth noting here too, because I put myself down a card, I wasn't able, I had to discard a Kumena earlier, so I'd have another Kumena here if I'd have played a little bit better. I feel like this is a you figure it out attack. I guess let's do the math. So if they block here, here, and here, they take 10, 18... They're actually just dead, right? The full attack is lethal. They block 7, 6, 6. They take 9, 17, 27. Yeah, it's just lethal if we attack with everything. Well, that was impressive. Yeah, that was incredibly impressive. Man, look at all the quests we completed too. I think you should probably just play Grixis Shadow instead of being cute with Pteramander. Delve threats are better than Pteramander in that archetype. This seems fine. Getting to curve 1-2 Kumena start drawing more cards is real gross. Every time someone casts Unmoored Ego and then loses the game anyways, an angel gets its wings. Land. Alright, so I can go Biomancer into Jade Bearer, loot, hopefully hit a land. Yikes. That's fine. Still got a lot of pressure in play. Pandasaurus, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I actually think Unmoored Ego is pretty good in the Sultai mid-range mirror match just because of how important Hydroid Crisis is in the Sultai mirror. But outside of that, I'm inclined to agree that it leaves a lot to be desired. Thanks, Spicy. Do I play into a counterspell here? I feel like I'm not supposed to with Tricky Dick in hand. I can just, like, pass and, like, leave lethal in play. So I don't want to play Trickster, because if they have Absorb, casting Absorb this turn lets them live through my attack step. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack with everything here. Dick is short for Richard. This is I've nicknamed this merfolk Richard. He's Tricky Richard. We could call him Nixon for short, I guess. We could call him Nixon for short. Alright, so I have all these counter spells. This is probably I was gonna say this is probably a Deeproot out matchup, because I think my opponent's likely playing a what's it called deck? What's the word I'm searching on? Wilderness Reclamation deck. So bringing in all my counter spells and cutting some of these grindy elements seems fine. What do I want to trim here? So Tempest Caller is kind of like a merfolk it's like a merfolk sleep. Incubation might be the trim, just because like the removal part of it isn't very good. Yeah, Kumena is a little slow at the top end. I'm going to bring in a Crushing Canopy. Let's give this a try. Definitely not an expert by any means, but pulling the curve down. This is a matchup where all of our 1-mana creatures are incredibly important because we want to get pressure into play quickly and then hold up counter spells. This hand is excellent. Biomancer into Deeproot is just like one of the best curves we can have to start. Yeah, this deck gets going very quickly, which is impressive. Spell Pierce is an absurd draw. They do get to stick Wilderness Reclamation this turn if they have it. But with Spell Pierce and Stroke, maybe we can play through that. Nice. They don't have it. Oh, that's a good draw too. Gosh, do I just attack here? I think I just attack here. Do I just jam? I think I just attack and pass. And it's like end step Merfolk Trickster if they don't give me something to counterspell. Seal away. That's interesting. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. So I don't get counterspelled here. Chemistry's Insight here. Yep. Can't cast this yet, unfortunately. I think I just draw here. They need mana. Alright. Spell Pierce is a lot worse in the face of Wilderness Reclamation. Like, sometimes it can get them at the very tail end, but a lot of the time it's going to be a little awkward. Yep. They do only have 6 mana here, though, so if they try and Nexus this turn, I do get to Spell Pierce them, which is nice. They didn't float mana, so they can't Nexus. So I'm going to go ahead and jam the Trickster here. If they play Seal Away on my Kumena, I'm sad. Absorb, I'm kind of pretty okay with, I think. Getting a counterspell though there feels like a win for me. Alright, so now that I have triple, I hit the 4th land. I have 5 power in play. I think I just smack them for 5 and pass. And then if they don't give me something to burn 2 counterspells on, or even 1 counterspell, I'll adapt this at end of turn to kind of loot through. I do think I need to just be pressuring them here. That's really unfortunate. Need to stroke that so I can keep pressure going. Good morning, Spry. Thanks for dropping in today. I did not adapt there because I didn't want them to cast Nexus of Fate. Oh, geez, I can't, that costs way too much. I think I just need more resources to win this game. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this race. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Silvergill Adept. I don't know. I kind of want to hold both of these up. We're probably going to be a little bit too slow here, since we're especially missing green mana for the Crushing Canopy and Wilderness Reclamation is a pretty big drawback here too. We're going to start hammering this, which puts us in a bad spot as well. The Spell Pierce is basically dead at this point. No, Petitioners really isn't a playable deck in Constructed. Just not good enough. There's too much interaction in this format for something like that to be successful. Okay. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Entrancing Melody is how you beat Graces as Drakes. You hit the nail on the head. So we're gonna go ahead and move to the next one. Solidly entering garbage time. I agree, Maxwell. We are definitely the beatdown in this matchup. I just didn't have a significant amount of pressure in play, so I felt like I needed to draw into more pressure to keep up. I watched a very small amount of Channel Fireball's coverage. By the time I could sit down to actually watch coverage yesterday, the top 8 was on, and the top 8 was just like a linear crapshoot, so I decided to watch Netflix instead. I think this hand isn't good enough. It's got good pressure. It just doesn't draw any cards. This hand's much better. Ooh. I think I'm going to wait on this so I can put a 1/1 counter on something. Sweet. So next turn we'll go Silvergill into Jade Bearer, attack for 3. What am I watching on Netflix right now? I'm currently watching Supergirl, the CW show. I have a hard time getting invested in shows that only have 1 or 2 seasons. I'm told by other people my threshold for good is much lower than the average person. I just like the superhero shows that have real people in them. Flash, Arrow, that whole thing. Hey, Daubert. Thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Should I watch? Yeah, I mean, shows with an ending are nice, but I like it to be like a solid, like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. I mean, not cartoon superhero shows. I mean live action. Live action is the technical term, I believe. What did I think of Arrow? I lost interest in Arrow during whatever season it is now. Yeah, the Magicians is great. Why would I put them to 3? Oh, you're saying just only attack with 2 things. Yes, I agree with you. I attack with 2 things and then I draw a card. I'm going to play my land out because I'm going to draw a few cards here. I mostly kept watching Arrow and Flash so I could watch the crossovers because I liked Legends of Tomorrow. I liked where that one was going. Now, I'm probably not really going to be drawing with Biomancer just because I don't need to put 1/1 counters on my team here because I'd rather just draw cards because I have so few creatures that are lethal anyways as attackers. Alright, so I just, like, make this unblockable and attack them, right? That's bad against Settle the Wreckage. They do have Seal Away in their deck, too. Alright, I'm going to start by doing this and see where we end up at. Yeah, that makes my life a lot easier. Well, now I'm just going to attack with these two, I think. And this, or I attack with this too. I think I don't want to expose this to Seal Away. Do I attack with these as well, just so... If they seal away this, they're still they seal away this, they block here, they still take lethal. Yeah, I want to not lose to seal away on this attack, and I want to not expose this to seal away. It's gonna get savaged by Settle plus counterspell here. Yep. This attack was not good against Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to play around Seal Away there, and it's hard. It's basically impossible to make attacks to, like, play around Seal Away and play around Settle the Wreckage. I think we just have to, like, pick one and lose to the other. That sounds fine. That's pretty reasonable, right? It's like 1-drop, 2-drop, other stuff. Hey, Boxian. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your base of bucks this way this month. Welcome. So, against red... Do I play Deeproot on 2 here, or do I Silvergill on 2? I'm just gonna time people out rather than ranting. I took the time to explain why I made the attacks that I made there. Please go back and watch the tape if you missed it. Thank you. Now that they killed my thing, I'm gonna Silvergill Adept here. I'm gonna Silvergill Adept so I can block one of these 1/2s or get another removal spell, and then next turn we can play Deeproot. Well, I can't go Deeproot and Jade Light next turn because I'm missing a color, huh? That's awkward. Need to draw green. I think I just have to play a 2/2 so I can threaten to block. I know, Settle the Wreckage is one of those really polarizing cards where, like, Twitch chat gets to be super, hindsight is 20/20. You should always play around the card because it feels bad. You lose way more games to playing around a card like Settle the Wreckage than you ever lose playing into it. And, like, the format's currently at a point where Settle the Wreckage is at an all-time low because it's so bad against Mono Blue and Siren Stormtamer, and it's bad against Sultai because they have Krasis to spend all their mana on after you Settle the Wreckage them. Like, that's the God's honest truth about it. Like, no matter what play I make there, people get to feel special and, like, tell me I did the wrong thing because of the way the results ended up being. Like, I chose to play around the card that we saw multiple copies of in the previous game, as opposed to not playing around the card that's poorly positioned that we hadn't seen yet in the match. I think that decision's correct, and if you want to sit there and, like, look back and say, hey, we made the wrong decision with information that we didn't have, like, yeah. They had to have exactly Settle plus Negate, which is a card that we hadn't seen yet that's also not very good in the format, so I don't think it's worth playing around. Alright, Merfolk Trickster seems fine here. I think it's a Deeproot Waters out matchup. It's too slow, right? Bringing a Spell Pierce and a couple of Negates seems fine. Yeah, I think for one more time, for people who are just like honestly don't understand being results oriented, it was worth explaining. But I did explain it at the time, and I get like Settler Wreckage is one of those cards that's very emotionally taxing to play against. So even when you make a probabilistically correct decision, it's very easy to look back on it and go, "Oh man, I messed up," because it felt bad. All right, so the fact that there's a Silvergill Adept on top of my deck here actually means I'm not going to Incubation on 1, because I'd like to 1, not shock, and 2, just draw that card on 2. We're gonna play a Mardu hero list as the third deck today. That went 8-2 or 7-3 at the Mythic Championship. So if you're interested in that card, maybe hang out and check for that. I think I just played Deeproot Elite here. Looks like we're gonna lose this match because we had mana troubles 2 games in a row. Missing on green in that first game and just missing a third land tier. Opponents also had a lot of removal that's been very good for them here, but not really sure there was a whole lot of other decisions I could have made to make this match go that much better for us. That's actually an incredibly good draw here. They don't have another deal 3. This puts up a brick wall and maybe buys us some time to stem the bleeding. So it's arguably the best draw in our deck, I think. Well, this is a viewer-submitted deck list, but this is the deck that went 8-2 at the Pro Tour card for card, so, like, depends on what you mean by viewer-submitted, kind of. Alright, so I'd really like another Jade Bearer or 1-drop here. Is there a good artifact-based deck in this format? Not in my experience. So, if they don't have another removal spell here, I've stabilized the board and have a lot of good cards in my hand. Their next risk factor, I probably have to let them draw cards, which sucks. Hopefully they decline to attack here, and then I get to play Kumena. They did attack. Hopefully we draw a land, and I get to hold up Negate for this risk factor. Hopefully they just aggressively risk factor here, because I might let them draw. Perfect. Right, we might be en route to stabilization here. Might be en route to stabilization. Oh, Biomancer. Maybe I'm just supposed to hold up Merfolk Trickster / Negate here. Or draw like Goblin Chain Whirler and make me sad. At least Team can deal. Merfolk. Alright, alright. I think I just do this, and then hope to draw another land next turn. So you're saying there's a chance. We screwed a little bit, they're flooding a little bit. That is a fantastical draw. So I get to do this. I get to do this and put 2 counters on this. And I get my timeout. It's my bedtime. I got you, Deep Prince. And thank you for the biddies. Hope you're having a good one. I'm gonna pass the turn here. Screw does often beat Flood. You're not wrong. Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate. That is definitely the type of draw that gets them back into the game, potentially. Negate to cover an Experimental Frenzy is ideal here. Start making some headway here. Yeah, we're flooding a little bit at this point, but I think we're still pretty far ahead, right? They're also drawing a lot of lands. I think I just pass and, like, pump up the jam next turn. I think we just, like, pump 2 turns in a row and then smash them. I probably should have held that extra land, since pumping and means I loot with the Biomancer. If I attack with everything, this is 13... 17, 21, so they have to block 2 things here, right? If they only block this, I guess they could only block this. I think the full attack's probably still right. Yeah, deal. I think with the negate especially, this attack is fine. I think if I didn't have the negate, I'd be a little conservative and wait a turn, but with the negate, I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure them. I mean, we've drawn the same number of lands that they have at this point, right? Although I guess we've drawn more cards than them. That's a factor. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this resolve because they don't have anything else in their hand. Hey, Zero, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Ooh, where's my dashboard? Fall of the Thran build around. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I actually have a good idea for that already. So, in. And I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I'm gonna go ahead and click submit. Right back. Jade Bearer kind of sucks as a 1-drop because we want something to power it up with. I'm like, I can't block this profitably. But I think I keep this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this tapped. And then we go Silvergill on 2, Jade Bearer plus Merfolk Mistbinder on 3. Or potentially some other 1-drop. We'll see what we hit. That's pretty good. Yikes. Alright, so... I think I'm just gonna Forest, hold up the negate this turn, rather than let them Wizard Lightning my Silvergill Adept. Oh, this is bad because they just get to pass, right? Great. No Justice Stream, got it. Definitely a mistake. Peace Tinker, thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good Monday. Good to see you around. CST, thanks for the Prime support. Thanks for dropping your Bezo bucks off this way. I don't think it's worth jamming Jade Bearer here and paying 2 life to do so, so I'm gonna have this enter tapped and pass. Oh, it would have gone away. Yeah, my negate line is right. Sure, yeah, because they did it the previous turn, right? Yeah, you're super right. So my... Ooh, this is a reason to have played the Jade Light out. I think we're dead at this point. This is just too much stuff. Need to draw like a 1-mana Merfolk here. What should you play to get you out of Gold League? I love the Teamer Climb deck. You assume we're just dead here. This matchup did not feel good. They have so much efficient removal, and Goblin Chain Whirler kills a significant number of our threats. Relevant magic related links are enabled in chat. The chat rules are really simple. Act like an adult, you'll be treated like an adult. Act like a child, you'll be given a timeout like a child. Yeah, that did not feel particularly good. So far the deck felt okay against Sultai, but it felt kind of middling otherwise. Because Goblin Chain Whirler has First Strike. Oh, Magic. Well, I mean, this is the best of the hands we've looked at. I'm on the play here, right? So I'm going to bottom this. Alright, if you're gonna post links in chat, don't make them sloppy links, please. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to use a link shortener so much as just, like, don't link to a Google search. Can you explain why being on the play is a bottom for that? Yeah, because 1-mana creatures like that are things that I want to play on the first turn of the game, but on the third turn of the game is going to be the first opportunity I have to play a card like that, and I think I'd like to have a better average draw by then. Maybe the fact that I have 2 2-drops means I should keep that, so that way I can go 2-drop into 2-drop plus 1-drop. But trying to draw higher than that card quality Merfolk as the game goes longer, I think is ideal. Alright, so I don't know what they're doing. Are they playing Temur Reclamation? I feel like there's a good chance I just get counterspelled this turn. Lead on Jade Bearer and see what happens. It feels like they're on Sinister Sabotage, and I kind of just don't want to let them use their mana. How do we feel about attack for 5? Tapped land pass here. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then next turn I can just double spell. Just like play 2 spells that matter. So now, because we drew another one especially, I'm going to lead on this. They'll Sinister Sabotage. I'll play Merfolk Mistbinder and attack them for a bunch. I guess this is pretty bad against Fiery Cannonade. That's a card they have in their main deck. It's pretty good against spot removal, though, which they certainly have spot removal in their deck. They kept a card on top there, so I assume we're going to be in trouble. Wonder if they play Fog. I feel like there's a good chance they play Fog. They do play Fiery Cannonade. Got it. Yeah, this deck felt fairly unimpressive. I'm gonna sit down after that one. At least we played this one at a rank floor. At least we were at a rank floor to start today. Yeah, and like, in a slower modern format, this deck would probably be fine, but like, Standard's just super interactive right now, and this deck just seems to get picked apart by interaction. I got a really good piece of advice to everybody in chat here who's flipping out because we could have won the game there if they had nothing. When you stop having fun playing Magic, you should either stop playing Magic or start playing Magic in a different way. That Merfolk deck, I wasn't really enjoying it. I get that if they had nothing there, we could have won that game by playing the other Kumena out and activating the thing. The deck feels real mediocre against lots of interaction. If you love it, you have more power to you, enjoy playing it, but that's not a deck that I'm gonna play again, and I was not enjoying the gameplay that I was playing, so we're gonna move along to the next thing because that deck did not feel good. Didn't feel like I was enjoying it, so we're moving along because life